Welcome to the Legacy of Light podcast, where we channel messages from the higher realms, taking you on adventures into the higher realm history of this planet, to golden ages, advanced civilizations, and sharing messages and news to support you on your ascension path. I'm Gabriela Kowalski, and
I'm Polina Gabriela. We are so delighted to be taking you on a journey of embodying your own divinity, exploring your beautiful, magnificent, infinite heart, and connecting deeper to your own beautiful eternal nature.
Welcome, beautiful souls, to another episode of Legacy of Light. Today we're going on a wonderful adventure. So get your galactic socks ready, put them on, get your galactic seatbelts on, and we're off to Atlantis. Atlantis. That's right. Wanted to take you on a journey into Atlantis because our whole ascension process right now is being, co-created with beautiful codes from already preceding existing advanced civilizations. So we are 100% co-creating with the legacy of Atlantis and Lemuria and Shambhala and all the others, and receiving beyond this additional codes, additional templates from the higher realms of existence to support us to transition into the next advanced civilization on this planet. And Atlantis is a really big part of this. And yet, ultimately, a lot of the history or a lot of the information about Atlantis speaks about its fall, speaks about its time of, being in wars and fighting and the floods and all of these things. And we wanted to take you on a journey further into the higher realms, into the golden age, into the crystalline age of Atlantis, into the pockets of Atlantis where the society lived in such a beautiful network unity. They were interconnected into a network consciousness, being able to telepathically talk and communicate, meaning they had no need to even speak out loud. They could communicate beautifully. And I don't know about you, but I often wish I could just download information and data straight to a person, because there's so much excitement and so much to share that it would be so much simpler to just go bzzzt and download. Can you imagine how much more you could get across if you could just download a stack of codes instantly without having the limitation of language? Not that I'm not appreciating language. Anywho, I divert.
Relationship would be much easier.
Right? Just no, it's all like communication, no problems at all. And Atlanteans in the higher realms of existence were literally, they ascended. They received beautiful initiations, upgrades, codes, templates of consciousness from the higher realms. One specific place that they were guided from and received from was from the god and goddess realms. And so if you haven't listened to episode 1 and 2 yet, then please, please catch them after this one. And if you have, this episode continues from that conversation. Yet these beautiful Atlanteans were ascending. What was unique was they were taking their mind on a tremendous evolution, allowing their mind to be able to hold so much data, be like a super computer, so to speak. And they were able to, master so many different technologies, specifically with crystals, yet beyond. And they lived in tremendous harmony, community, love. They had an extremely beautiful relationship with the environment around them, life around them. Life was delicious. And they were so excited to continue learning. One of the pieces of Atlanteans is they love to learn. They love knowledge and wisdom. And so they would continue collecting more and more. Their libraries on the universe are extremely rich. They're so abundant. And so what happened? We wanted to kind of share with you what happened, because the truth is, when we look at the higher realms of Atlantis, it is utopia. It is beautiful souls living in harmony with the waters and the land, all beings, living and thriving fully. And then all of a sudden, something shifts. And for the most part, we don't remember this higher realm history as much. So Firstly, Futamaktiana Hattai Usutai. What's important to know is the higher realm of Atlantis, is the higher realm of Atlantis. And it is a different configuration of their civilization than the configuration of their civilization where they experienced their fall and their flood. And we'd like to really have you explore the differences in them, because it's like trying to compare modern Egypt to ancient Egypt. They're completely different. You can't put them into one beautiful box, And so the one piece I wanted to share is because they've left a legacy for us. There are libraries in the quantum all over the planet with codes from Atlantis, with the wisdom and knowledge that had them create their beautiful crystalline golden age of existence, their utopia, so to speak, where everyone was living in harmony in the most beautiful community. And what a lot of these beautiful Atlanteans did was they took the wisdom, they cultivated over generations and generations, and they stored it in quantum libraries all over the planet, allowing the people that, so what's a better way to say this? Then allowing them to be reopened at this time in history and flood back into the consciousness, be available for those that can access, through their beautiful multidimensionality, these codes, so we can continue ascending with their legacy inside of us. And the way that they did this was they coded the libraries with very specific frequency keys. And so they knew that they would come again. The very beings that place these libraries into the quantum knew that they would take physical form again in this time, and they would hold the frequency to be the key to open these libraries and allow these beautiful teachings to come back. Teachings well beyond crystal technology, teachings to be able to communicate in a network consciousness way, to really, receive some of their advanced network consciousness technologies. And what I mean by that is to be able to intercept the consciousness so it can stream and interconnect, not just with others, to interconnect with other life forms, with the animal, with the under the water world, to be able to connect in and tune into the whole ecosystem of the oceans, and to be able to co-create with that ecosystem in the most beautiful way possible, in harmonic resonance and alignment, that your desires for the ocean are the ocean's desires for the ocean, to come and connect with, connecting with what's above the water, with the plants and the animals. There's some profound teachings and technologies from higher realm Atlantis, where they lived in such a utopia, and their mind technology was next level. They've shared these codes, yet they also wish us to know that as much as they were able to take their mind beyond where any other civilization had been able to before, this actually ended up being, in a way, what had them create alternate realities where they started to descend. There is a limit to our mind consciousness that we do not share with our heart consciousness. Our mind can kind of only ascend so far, and then the heart really does require to take over, as the heart consciousness, its configuration, its structure is simply able to ascend and transform and grow at a much more rapid rate. If, of course, you sync both the mind and the heart, this creates so much possibilities. Yet, ultimately, our Atlantean beautiful, ancestors, you could say, yet at the same time with quantum now, understanding that everything happens right now, that time does not exist linear, especially when you're living in a universe like ours where there's parallel and alternate realities. Higher realm Atlantis exists right now, breathing with us in the quantum now, and she is streaming more and more codes to us and asking us to receive this. And also a little bit of an invitation to start to cultivate and to really go deeper with our heart consciousness, to merge the heart and mind as we receive our evolution, as we receive their codes. Because they did not do this. They got so like excited with knowledge and wisdom and the mind that their heart consciousness was actually, that of a child, like it was underdeveloped comparative to their mind. And so what that meant was once they hit a kind of limit, I guess you could say an upper limit to how far they could go, their mind started to fabricate or create constructs of control. And what I mean by this is, if you did watch episode 1 and 2, we spoke about realms of existence. Realms of existence, just to give you a little 1-minute overview, are that in any given reality, we aren't just looking, especially like when we're looking at reality, we're not just looking at one unified reality. We're looking at realms of existence across that reality. And the higher realms of existence are realms of existence and realities that are co-created with the frequencies of true love, abundance, freedom, full safety. The nervous system in that reality is completely regulated, relaxed. It is just, that beautiful, relaxed, feeling. The middle realms are co-created with the frequency of control, power, judgment. And the lower realms are co-created with fear, guilt, shame. Now, as a result, in Atlantis, during their beautiful higher realm existence, realities of Atlantis were being co-created with love and abundance and, and all the higher frequencies. Yet the mind, when it tapped out, it started to, I guess you could say, descend. And in some people, there was pockets where it wanted control again. It wanted to control something, create a structure. And some of the people then started to want to control, put rules and regulations in place, start to control each other. And this was the very beginning of alternate realities of Atlantis being formed, middle realms of Atlantis being formed. Later, from this, lower realm realities would be formed. And it was this piece where the mind wanted to control. And so the Atlanteans wish for us to remember this, to take their legacy, to tell us that, my gosh, they had ascended to such a beautiful place. And the one bit of key, one beautiful gift they'd like to give us isn't just the massive library that's now more and more opening up all over the planet for us to be able to receive the codes. It's also honor your heart consciousness. Let this grow and this grow. Have both of them grow together. And there'll come a time where your heart consciousness will be so initiated and activated, the mind will feel safe to let the heart consciousness fully lead. And the mind will become a beautiful tool that you co-create with until there'll come a time where there'll be actually no need for the mind at all. And this is the journey we're taking you on today. So,
we need to understand that many of us have experienced lives, incarnations on many different cosmic locations within many realms. Many of us have experienced lives in Lemuria and Atlantis. The reason why the legacy was left for us is so we can remember, so we can recall the memories from within and make different choices, so we can learn and consider to create something else, something new, given the experiences that we all have had in the past. The ultimate fall from unity consciousness is when one energetic portal gets separated from communication with another one. We are fully alive here. It means that every single chakra in our body is active and the flow of energy is circulating through our system harmoniously and equally. When one energetic center, one chakra within the body or outside of our body is being separated from the link of communication with the rest of the system, it creates disharmonies. So the effortless and natural flow of energy and communication within our system, when it's broken, when it's distorted and somehow is modified, it means that one energetic center is forced to take on and to generate much more energy and data to be what's the word I'm looking for? Compensating for the one that is not so active. So what happened in the Atlantean realm is when the civilization was so blissed out on co-creation with the mental power, they got a little bit swayed into a whole different dimension. You know how power works. Power amplifies all. And power is very, very, very important essence that we all have within ourselves. Power of our mind, power of our heart, power of every single energetic center is very different. They are so unique, that's why we have many of them. That's why we are not only just one heart, we have all different centers within our system. So what happened in Atlantis is that the mental power and the mental field started to create even more and more separation and suppression from the heart consciousness. And from unity consciousness, from one big living family, breathing organism, Atlantean brothers and sisters went back in frequency. They dropped their frequency and started descending until they became to separate and form different tribes that were competing with each other, tribes that were in conflict for power, for even more power, for even more resources, for even more control, domination. And that created a sustainable environment for other beings from different galaxies and from also our galaxy within different star systems that were matching the lower realm frequency. I want to emphasize here that every star nation, every single unified collective consciousness has infinite realms. There are higher realms, there are middle realms, and there are lower realms as well. So beings that were vibrating on a lower frequency from Orion, Federation of Light, and also from reptilian draconian realm, lower realm, they were very interested in also contributing and taking part in this beautiful fall that the Atlantean civilization had sadly experienced and went through. The reason why they had access to the physical plane of existence and also to the energetical field of Atlantean beings is that the Atlantean avatar, the physical body of Atlantean being, was coded with different DNA factors taking from many different beings of light. Same as our physical DNA here, we have so many different we have so much data that's been contributed and gifts and legacies from different civilizations. That's why we are receiving support and upgrades and guidance from benevolent beings of light, because they communicate with us, because we have their DNA, we have those beautiful data in our field, within our body. So Atlantean beings, they had this sustainability not only because of the DNA and bloodline, but also because of the frequency. So when they dropped their frequency enough, they started communicating with beings not from higher realm and who were assisting their journey of ascension, but they connected to the beings that were resonating on low vibrations of fear and scarcity. The Orion Federation of Light within the lower realm, they were sharing data, information and technologies that were giving a lot of power, and they were giving ideas on how to co-create with these technologies, how to evolve and create civilization that is resonating with the lower realm frequency and middle realm frequency, but being very successful, being very advanced. And of course, highly evolved and developed mental structure was very excited because they got all the tools so they can rule.
Yeah.
The mind was very happy about that. And about reptilian realm and draconian realm, we have to understand that within this federation of light, within this specific race of beings, cosmic beings as well, there are many different realms. The ascended version of those beings is beautiful dragons. Dragons of light, dragons of Sophia, beautiful beings, unbelievably powerful, gorgeous. Once you feel their frequency, you'll always be recognizing it because it is pure ecstasy, bliss, divinity, and light. And the fallen realm of the draconian and reptilian federation is the reptilian DNA, those beings that are existing in the lower realms. They only are based, they're only driven by survival and power and scarcity and conflict. So lower realms of those federations were communicating with the Atlantean beings, and they were giving this encouragement and this strength, this power, inspiration, motivation to be even more in conflict, to be even more striving for control, to be competing much more, and taking this competition and the extent of fear even further. So this is how the fall of Atlantean civilization in frequency-wise was taking place. And eventually, because we have to understand that all beings in the universe, all galactical systems, every single universe, star nations, we all are one. We all are brothers and sisters. We have huge extended family. And when one being or one planet or one realm is experiencing such brutality and such shocking dysfunctional dynamic, it creates a ripple effect to the whole universe. And universe is ascending. Ascension means dramatic infusion of light frequency and elevation, raising the vibration and merging consciousness of heart, mind, soul completely with the rest of our body and the physical body. So becoming this beautiful godlike being while we remain in physicality. So the entire universe is also ascending, and events that were taking place in Atlantean realm within the lower realm, they were creating disharmony. And there was a split between different realms, high realms and low realms within the Atlantean civilization. So those beings who were choosing to consciously co-create, ascend, evolve, mature, expand, grow, and so on, with heart consciousness, they transcended their physicality, and they were remaining, and they are remaining, existing, living, blossoming in prosperity, in unity, in alternative reality now. And the same way, those beings who chosen to explore dynamics of fear and explore dynamics of power, struggle, conflict, war, separation, and competition, they were more anchored in physicality. So it means that their physical body was not sustainable to hold a high frequency of light, and their physical body experienced events that known as flooding. So the water purified all the rage and all that fearfulness. This is history. This is legacy. It's given to us. It's available to us because we can learn from that. Because truthfully, majority of population of people on planet Earth had infinite lifetimes in Atlantean civilization within different realms. Some of us have experienced full ascension, and some of us has experienced witnessing our brothers and sisters going through fall until the completion was happening. And we are the ones who have free will choice. Always. So when we call to our inner responsibility and our inner maturity, when we actually pause and slow down and ask ourselves a question truthfully. What frequencies are we co-creating with? How are we living our life? What is the direction we are going? And it doesn't mean that we are evolving and our physical body gets old and we just die. No, we just continue. We just change our physicality. We jump into next avatar. But the codex within our light body, within our crystalline DNA is eternal. And when we have physical access to being embodied on this planet Earth, to be incarnated, we have much more access to transition, to transmute negative data much faster than non-physical beings. That's why all of us who currently incarnated on planet Earth, we wanted to come to this physical plane so much. It was like Disneyland, like I want to go in now. There was so much impatience, there was so much joy and excitement because we know how fast we can transcend here, how much we can evolve, what an accelerated journey we all signed up here for. And dear ones, if you are to look at the events that are taking place now in the world, how much beauty we see. And yet also there are experiences that are not so fun and pleasant to have, such as wars, conflicts. Why those experiences, why those events are happening in the planet when we are ascending is because we ascend fully and as one unified being. And it means that those parts and those aspects of our Atlantean DNA, including Atlantean DNA, Orion DNA, Draconian DNA, Syrian DNA, Lemurian DNA, all of us as whole being, they are also ascending. They are also being brought to the surface to be loved, acknowledged, to activate our divine gift rather than to see and repeat events that took us to experiences that we know of. So in this lifetime, we have an opportunity to create something beautiful. We are the ones who are creating this new golden age. We are the ones who are leading the cycle of ascension for our human awareness to return back to the field of our heart, to unify again, to be complete, whole, and truly authentic. That's when we activate our divine gifts. That's when unity consciousness gets embodied. We don't have to talk about it. We just are that. We are that. This is when we activate our telepathical abilities and there is no need for any verbal communication. This is when the weather changes because it's part of this cycle of ascension. This is when we begin to co-create with elements, minerals, all different plants and kingdoms of animal kingdom and bacteria kingdom. All beings, all sentient beings become harmonized. And this is how we create the higher realm of human civilization.
I love
and this
that.
is what we are here to do.
Yeah, we is. Yes, and even now, look outside your loving eyes and you will see that the higher realms of this planet exist all around us. Every waterfall, every mountain, every forest. When I step into nature, oh my goodness, I can just feel the utopia of this planet. And at the same time, if instead of looking at the mass of beauty, if we look at the pockets of what some people are getting up to and we zoom in there, it is inviting all of us to choose where we place our attention, our intention, what stories we tell, because a lot of our history has been made up from sharing more and more of what happened in the lower realms. And then it's like the higher realm history has been forgotten. Yet the truth is there is so much more of the higher realms right now. Even from a spatial perspective, if you look at the whole planet, have a look at how much of our planet is unpopulated by humans and their cities and is oceans and forests. And, the ocean world is bigger than the land world. So even from a percentage perspective, our actual current planet, if we were to look at it right now, has a higher percentage of freedom, true freedom and sovereignty, the birds flying, the fish swimming. None of the, like, you know, when we look at, yes, I understand that you would say to me that in the lower realms of existence, whales get hunted and other things like this happen. Yet once again, it's actually a small percentage. The pain and the suffering happening across the whole planet with animals and, you know, water beings is a smaller percentage. And more people are also choosing heart consciousness, choosing to love each other, choosing to be compassionate, ascending right now. And with each person, every time someone chooses true love, true forgiveness, true compassion, instead of war, instead of revenge, instead of vengeance, the whole collective shifts, and more of us, you know, anchor into our heart. And so we felt to share with you just a little bit of an invitation to co-create with your heart even more than you already do, to breathe into your heart every day, to choose love as your guiding force. Ask, what would love do? What would abundance do? What would compassion do right now? How does love see this? How does my higher self see this? As we ask these questions, as we choose to co-create this way, we anchor and stabilize more and more into the higher realm versions of ourself. And the more people on this planet that choose the higher realms, guess what happens? The lower realms simply get less and less participants. Like, it literally ends up looking like if the lower realms were a stadium, right now, there's still quite a fair few people in the stadium watching the show. Many have left into the higher realm stadium, and there's many in the middle realm stadium. Yet imagine, as people release power and control over each other, justice and revenge, as people, more and more people release, heal, fear, you know, come into a full aligned nervous system, then the stadium of the higher realms grows. More and more people get there, and it's like no one shows up to the lower realm show anymore. And when there's no one looking and co-creating the lower realm show anymore, guess what happens to the lower realm show?
It goes away, it disappears, because the frequency field is not sustainable for that particular vibration to be present in the field of the planet Earth.
Yeah, and this is ascension. This is why we are being asked to stabilize into higher frequency, to really embody soul consciousness, to have our light bodies come online, to hold higher frequencies and co-create with them. And upon that note, if you're listening to this transmission during the launch of this beautiful podcast, meaning in the week of November, between the 7th and the blah, 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 and the 11th of November, actually between the 7th and 10th of November, then be excited, check out the links. However you found this, have a look at the text around this, this beautiful transmission, or you may already know about this. We are gifting a tremendous VIP event on the 10th, on the beautiful 10th of November, just before the 11/11 portal. And this is a gifted event that we're giving you because if you have had lifetimes in Atlantis and or other advanced civilizations, even beyond this planet, potentially you were there and you witnessed Lyra fall. If this is still if these imprints are part of your soul journey, then this is part of who you are at a soul consciousness level. And so we're going to be channeling a beautiful transmission co-created with so many different benevolent beings from the higher realms to harmonize the imprints and to offer your like a full oversoul transformation, healing, transmutation of witnessing civilizations fall, having imprints in your field that could even have you descend, you know, and offering you beautiful higher realm codes, templates, and technologies that support you to stabilize into your ascension. So especially if you've noticed that you go in and out, like if you've noticed that your ascension journey has you sort of go into, yay, I feel loving and amazing today, this is wonderful, I feel great, and then next minute or next day or next week, you feel pain and fear and scarcity and other things, you can feel yourself oscillating. You can feel yourself going between fifth and fourth and third dimensional consciousness. When you feel yourself oscillating, this is part of the imprints from Atlantis and from other fallen, what we would perceive as fallen civilizations, the capacity to not be a stabilized field, to be in an, to be literally doing this. Boop, 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 boop. If you can't see this on the podcast, I'm moving my body up and down and sideways. And so this is why we're offering this as a complete gift. The exchange of energy we ask for, though, is that you please share our podcast with as many people as you can, that you subscribe to all the different podcast channels, leave a review, leave a rating. This helps us reach more people. This helps, when people see our podcast, when they see that other people have rated it and said good stuff about it, it helps more people want to find out what we're talking about. Support us to get this information, this beautiful wisdom out to as many people on the planet as possible. And we thank you with this gift. If you're listening to this transmission and it's way past the 11th of the 10th of November, then there'll be a link somewhere. Please check out like the descriptions of the podcast, wherever you may be, as we're going to share a link for you to still receive this transmission as a thank you for sharing this podcast. So if you love these episodes and you'd like to also harmonize any imprints of your own experience in fallen civilizations here and beyond, then we'll gift you this beautiful, amazing quantum surgery. We do ask, please share this, review, rate, like, and then you can access the replay through the link. We love you so, so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.
See you.